Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another standing gameplay video, and today we are playing another deck that kind of passed me by, much like we played the Razor Pass deck the other day. Today we are playing Rakdos Enchantments. It doesn't have any cards from Tarkir Dragonstorm in it, but as we are in the lull before Final Fantasy releases next week, I thought I'd give this one a go. So as the name suggests, it is an enchantment based deck. The idea is we get down a lot of enchantments, and as we've seen over the last few sets, we have enchantments that can cause our opponent a discard in Hopeless Nightmare, cause the opponent sacrifice a creature in Momentum Breaker, or discard if they don't have a creature, give a creature -3/-3 in Nowhere to Run, and then even things like Fear of Lost Teeth, which is a creature and an enchantment and deals 1 damage to any target, and we gain like 1 life when it dies. We also have Spiteful Hexmage, not an enchantment itself, but when it enters it does attach a curse roll token to target creature we control, which is enchantment, and it causes creature base power 1/1. So obviously that is a bad thing, but if we do have, say, a Fear of Lost Teeth out, we can play the Hexmage and then put the curse roll on that, so we don't really lose anything. And then the other enchantments are Disturbing Mirth, and that's kind of what really makes this, pulls this deck together. It's a 2-mana enchantment, and when it enters, we may sack another enchantment or a creature. If we do, draw 2 cards. So, and then it also has, whenever we sack this enchantment, we manifest dread, meaning we look at the top 2 cards of the library, put one of them onto the battlefield, face down as a 2/2. If it's a creature, we can turn it face up later on for its casting cost. So kind of like the dream draw is turn 1 Spiteful Hexmage, put the counter on itself, turn 2 Disturbing Mirth, sack the curse roll, we now just have a 3/2 which can attack, and we draw 2 cards. Or, we may want a Hopeless Nightmare and then Disturbing Mirth, sack it. Because what's interesting about Hopeless Nightmare compared to, say, Momentum Breaker is we've got to pay 2 to sack it, we gain life equal to your speed, which makes sense. Hopeless Nightmare, when it's put into the graveyard on the battlefield, we scry 2, and then we can pay 3 to sack it. So we get that scry 2 whenever it goes in the graveyard. So if we sack it to Disturbing Mirth, then we still get a scry 2. So that's really, really powerful. Fear of Missing Out lets us discard, then draw. And then if we have Delirium, meaning we have 4 or more card types in our graveyard, obviously enchantment, creature, artifact, planeswalker, battle, those instant sorceries, and then if we have Delirium, when this creature attacks for the first time each turn, if we have Delirium, we untap target creature. After this phase, there is additional combat phase. So we're not great at getting Delirium, but it can happen. So it's great being able to get in twice with a Spiteful Hexmage. We also have Braids, which is really, really good as well. 3-mana 3/3. Going to end step, we may sacrifice. It says artifact, creature, enchantment, land on planeswalker. I think that's basically any permanent, because battles weren't around when Braids was printed. If we do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a choice, that choice. So if we sack an enchantment, they sack an enchantment. If they don't, that player loses 2 life and we draw a card. So great card value, and obviously we're going to have a lot of enchantments that we don't mind sacrificing. So if we can get a Braids out, that's really, really good. Then we have 2 copies of Shoulder the Apocalypse, because it's such a great card, not an enchantment. And then we do have 2 copies of Virtuous Persistent, mostly for Lock, Throwing Scorn. Target creature gets -3/-3 in a turn, we gain 2 life. But it is a big 7-mana enchantment, which lets us begin a upkeep, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under our control. And the only other non-enchantment card is Final Vengeance. 1-mana sorcery, as additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature or enchantment to exile target creature. That's really, really powerful. Again, we have a lot of redundant enchantments, so we don't mind sacrificing. And to exile any creature is great. It gets rid of the enduring creatures. It turns off death triggers. It's really, really good, and it doesn't care about size. So we have like Nowhere to Run and Virtue of Persistence for the smaller creatures. We have Momentum Breaker for the singular creatures, and we have Final Vengeance for anything else. And obviously it's great to get down a Hexmage and Final Vengeance and sack the curse roll token. Mana base, Swamps, Mountains, 4 Blackleaf Cliffs, 4 Blazemar Verges, and 2 Walker's Theatres. Getting stuff in the graveyard's nice for Delirium, or just getting through our deck, but we don't want too many tap lands because we do have a few 1-drops. You could probably go down 1 land. We do have a habit of flooding out, which is not fantastic in this deck. So it's a really, really quite quick and powerful deck. Obviously only play it in the play queue because we don't have any graveyard hate against the Omniscience combo decks. But against some of the aggro decks, we have a lot of removal. That's really good. We have some incidental life gain with Virtue of Persistence, and then Braids and Shoulder can just close out the game. So really, really fun. Hope you all enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe. really happy over the last few weeks with the amount of engagement and comments in the comment section, so please carry on doing that. Please let me know what you like, what you don't like, what I've done right, what I've done wrong. If my video has some sound quality issues, which I think my last video does because I had an issue with my microphone, the issue being is I moved away from my face and forgot to put it back, and only realised toward the end of the recording session. So please leave anything like that down in the comments and I'll try to respond to them. I'm going to put a post up probably on Friday about what's happening next week. So we do get a new set next week. I'm going to do on Saturday or Sunday a Patreon only video around the upcoming Final Fantasy set. So if you're interested in that, please have a look at my Patreon. It'll be available for all Patreons, so even the lowest tier, which is only $1. And I might make it so you can buy it anyway if that's something people are interested in, because you can do that on Patreon. But yeah, I'll post something about what's happening next week, because some of the timings on videos will be a bit different, and that's mostly for Patreon viewers, and I've only got 3 of them. But speaking of those, I'll give a shout out to my Planeswalker level patrons. They are Arcadius and Mihal. Thank you very much, you two, for your support. I really, really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in my gameplay. Button goes first. Well, we don't have a 1-drop, but we might draw into it. Nope. Let's play out our Cliffs. Or let's play out a Fear of Missing Out. And we will discard, Mountain. Just mean. Yeah, we need a mountain. Right, we will go to our second main, Braids. Sack a map token. They take 2. I imagine they have removal for raids. They do. Or let us Hex Mage. Put cursor on there. Disturbing Mirth. And let's see if we can grow the Hex Mage. We can take that out with our Nowhere to Run. And I'm going to do this now, because I'm hoping they crew the hover ship with it. Oh, they don't. And let's play out Fear of Missing Out. And we'll pitch another Swamp. And let's just get down a Fear of Lost Teeth. Do they have a sweeper? They do. But Sheldred's always a pretty decent follow-up. They have a Get Lost. Oh, Stroke of Midnight. Let's put the counter there. And let's attack in. let's pitch a final vengeance. And hopefully they don't have another board wipe. Well, at Exiles. Interesting they got rid of a nowhere to run. We will sack the curse roll. We can get our Braze back. Oh no, we don't get it back. It manifests Dread into a Braze. It's alright. And we will Hopeless Nightmare going to discard one of their remaining 2 cards. Wow, another Season of the Burrow. I don't think it's going to do it though. Yeah, they're giving us a good game. They're down to 2. And I don't think we've got anything in hand that could actually have done the last 2 to them. Apart from Sheltered, but we didn't have the mana to get that down. And yeah, they scoop. We just pay out Sheoldred, and at the end of the turn, sack. Well, attacking the Disturbing Mirth, they could have sacked the Builder Talent because it is an enchantment, but yeah, we had enough on the board. We go first. We've got a decent hand. We can turn 1 Fear of Lost Teeth and turn 2 maybe a Fear of Missing Out or a Hex Mage. Or obviously removal. Let's discard a mountain. I hope we do draw a third one, a third land. Our opponent's thinking. Always thinking. Well, it's a tap land, but we'll put the curse roll on our teeth. Well, we can play out a Hex Mage. And a Momentum Breaker to remove their Contaminator. Get him down to 11. Another Bloated Contaminator. Well, Let's play out Hopeless Nightmare. I think they might have a bounce spell. And they discard. Who knew this was such a tough choice? Sure. Okay, so that's interesting. Because obviously nowhere to run gets around Hexproof. So what do they do? They pitched one. I think they must have another one. Just that indestructible. But it does survive. We do have another one and a wide enough board that it shouldn't really make a difference. So what do they copy? I fear of missing out. Well, that just does it without even needing to attack. But yeah, we removed whatever, doesn't really matter. And then we have 4 attackers, they only have 2 blockers. We go first. Well, we have hand disruption. I think we survive turn 1. And if we need to, we can Momentum Breaker or we can double Hopeless Nightmare. Or probably just single Hopeless Nightmare. Black-blue doesn't have a... well, they often don't have a huge amount of creatures. But obviously they do. Fair enough. We will get our Deep Cavern back. One of our shoulders back. So another land would be nice. Fair enough. There is the other land. Do there the removal. They do. We'll Hopeless Nightmare and we'll scry 2 with one of them. Oh, Oculus. Well, this is where discard doesn't necessarily help us out. I don't think we need either of those. Yep, now we're in trouble. Please stop giving us land. Yep. Well, we do have a braids. Well, we can get that back. Or whatever it is they take. We will sack our cursed roll. I think Quasi Revenant's a good target to exile, but for now I'm just going to get down braids. We'll sack out Disturbing Mirth. They're up to 20. We do take 2. Right. Let us know where to run. Take out the Revenant. Final Vengeance. Sack. And nowhere to run. To exile Shouldered. And we attack in. Let's sack our face down card. We find our own Shieldred. There's an Archfiend. We'll get him to discard. Exodemon, what the? Exile their Archfiend. And yeah, we Momentum Breaker, which causes them to discard, sack the Deep Cavern Bat, and then we can sack the Momentum Breaker at the end of turn, and they won't have anything to sack. So we draw, and they take 2. Yeah. We go first. Would like a Disturbing Mirth, but can't have everything. Lame. And there's a Disturbing Mirth. What I like about Hopeless Nightmare is you get the scry when it's put into the graveyard, not when you sack it. Whereas Momentum Breaker, oh, Ugin. Momentum Breaker, you only get the life when you actually pay mana to sack it. So we can Disturbing Mirth the Hopeless Nightmare, still get a scry, and draw 2. Which is what we will do. Why didn't I get the scribe before the draw? Oh, we can take out that animal elves. Do we have another? Oh, I've got a gate. Okay, fair enough. I would like some less lands, please. We will hit in for 1. In fact, they discarded an Ugin earlier. Suggests they have another Ugin in hand. And they are ramping hard. If they have a land, they can cast an Ugin next turn. Well, we're attacking. They did that at the massively wrong time. They do have the Overlord, which is an enchantment. Do they have an Ugin? No. If they do, I can't cast it. Well, they have a green left over. Well, let us hope it's Nightmare. And our opponent scoops. We Disturbing Mirth, probably sack the Hopeless Nightmare. Draw 2, scry 2, attacking for 9. Well, no, they would have been dead because they were going to take 2 from that, and we had 9 on the board. Well, that's a lot of fear of missing outs. I think I'm going to mulligan this. Let us put a virtue away. Let's get them to discard. They discard our planes. So they are a life gain deck. I will pitch a swamp. Well, I'm going to bank on us drawing a land. We did not draw a land. Yeah, they don't. They don't jump. So I think we know where to run the bigger one, and I hope they don't have a way to gain life at instant speed. Yes, we are having issues. with not drawing that land. Wow, okay. Oh, there is land. And there is even more land. Unfortunately, they do get to put a lot of counters on the Innocence. Oh. Ah, because, yes, because obviously it got exiled. It didn't die. Second Innocence. And a Helpful Hunter. They're back up to 21. Let us Hex Mage. We'll put it on. It doesn't matter because we're going to sacrifice it in a second. We'll Final Vengeance there, Enduring Innocence. Swing in. What do they do? What do they do? Enchantment land. We don't need. Oh, we're missing a creature in the graveyard. Yeah, next turn we Final Vengeance, sack for nowhere to run, take out their Enduring Innocence. Okay, we take out the Health Hunter then. Oh no. Yeah, hold on. We don't have to... Oh, We will have to pay the ward now. No, we don't. Oh. We'll discard the Fear of Missing Out because that will then give us Delirium. And we can untap our Hex Mage and attack in again. Alright. Probably should have taken out the thing that does 3 to you twice. Goodbye. Hello Magic fans and welcome back to a very quick wrap up. So I do actually really like this deck. It's one you don't really see that often. I suppose because the meta has shifted to like the graveyard combo decks with Omniscience, and this, we don't have anything in there that really deals with the graveyard. But I think in the play queue where you're mostly up against random aggro or life gain's always really popular. This can be really, really good because as I said in deck tech, we do have kind of removal for everything. So we have nowhere to run and virtual assistance for the smaller creatures, or even, especially the mice, which, half our hero shields damage on the way out based on its power. Well, nowhere to run and virtual persistence means their power is going to be 0. Momentum breaker for the singular creatures. If you're playing against a slow deck and they get down, a reasonably big creature, then Momentum Break can just blow them out of the water. And then Final Vengeance for everything else. And we have a lot of artifacts and even creatures that we can sacrifice if we really need to, but we never really need to. And Disturbing Mirth and it Braids gets through our deck. So it can just be really, really powerful and really, really quick. So if you want to, have a quick deck for your decks, I think this, for your quest, I think this could be really helpful. And if you like playing that kind of control-y, almost mono black control-y with a splash of red, because we only have 2 red cards for Missing Out and Disturbing Mirth, so I think that you could really, really like this deck. If you do like it, please remember to like and subscribe. Please remember to leave a comment down below what you like, what you didn't like, what I did right, what I did wrong, and I'll see you all in the next video.